נור דהרי גדל בפקיסטן, חונך לחשוב שאנחנו, היהודים, גרועים יותר מחיות, ואפילו הצטרף לארגון טרור. אחרי שביקר בארץ כמה פעמים, הוא תוקף היום את הקיצוניים ומסביר שהקוראן העניק את ארץ ישראל ליהודים. בשבוע שעבר הוא הגיע לביקור כאן בארץ. בואו תראו.
Don't let anybody take your right from you. No, because it's given by God to you. And if they need it, fight for your right. Amen.
Nur Dahari, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good evening.
It's good to have you with us. I have to ask you, at what point did you start asking questions about Israel and about Jews?
Well, as you are aware of, I just came to Israel and for my tour project for my book, and the very next day I went to, it was a Friday at the Jummah prayer. I went to the Mosque Al-Aqsa and prayed there, and then I went to the Kotel, which is Western Wall. And when I went to the Western Wall, I was surprised that no one stopped me. And no one even cared about who I am, because my dress, what I was wearing, is called a shalwar kameez, a very typical Pakistani dress. We wear it, not Arabic jalbab or anything else. Mm-hmm. And people looking, but they were not afraid of me, no scared of me. No one even came close to ask me that why you are here, you are Muslim. It was completely surprised to me that how comes I, being a Muslim, can go to Al-Aqsa and I can go to the Western Wall, which is dedicated to the Jewish only, and I can pray both sides, both areas, without any hesitation, without any fear. Mm-hmm. And how comes that the Jewish people who are, the Temple Mount is a first prayer direction to them. First Kaaba, we can say the holy place.
Yeah.
Holiest place, and they can't go to anywhere around the Temple Mount. And we Muslims come from the, from Western world or Eastern. We can allow to go to Al-Aqsa and even the Jewish Western Wall, and that surprised me. And then I thought, is it not apartheid? Is it completely unfair that Jewish people are banned to go to Temple Mount, and we Muslims can go anywhere?
Yeah.
And this the great example of the coexistence and freedom of the movement of the people all around the world into Israel.
And I have to tell our viewers, because we're Facebook friends and I see your posts and you're posting constantly about Israel. What reactions are you getting from your friends in Pakistan and across the world?
Well, specifically Pakistan, I'm very happy that from Pakistan people, there are two types of the reaction. Either they are completely silent. It was not like before, like 5 years ago I came here, and when I showed the Pakistani people that I'm in Israel, how I support Israel, and there people are bombarding about, abusing and harassing me, threatening me. But this time is a completely different. Either people were silent, or the people are come to support, and they said, yes, we support you, and tell us how can we go from Pakistan to UAE, to Israel, because we want to see the Holy Land. We want to see how the Muslims and Jews live together in coexistence, peace and love in one land, which media has shown as a completely different image. So now it's because of the Abraham Accords, world is going to be changed. The reaction in Pakistan of the Abraham Accords is completely different and phenomenal, because now people are, through the social media, through the Abraham Accord, people get a more awareness about Israel, the reality in Israel, rather than propaganda and fake and biased news come from the international media. And I think the Pakistani people are now they have a hope and they are coming forward, and which is one day soon the Pakistan will establish a very good ties.
Yeah.
And before the Pakistan is established, I think the people to people will establish ties before the government established.
Yeah, inshallah. And at the moment, you don't live in Pakistan, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to come to Israel.
Can you repeat, please?
I'm asking, at the moment you don't live in Pakistan physically, right? Because otherwise you won't be able to come to Israel, to visit Israel.
Well, the time, as I say, time has changed now. People from Pakistan, they recently came. Ahmed Qureshi, a prominent journalist of the Pakistani TV anchor, he a few months ago, he recently came direct from the Pakistan. So I think if I was in Pakistan, I think there is a chance because Ibrahim Accords, I could have traveled to UAE, and from the travel to UAE, I could have come to Pakistan. But that things was never even think or existed.
Yeah.
The idea was never even came into mind before the Ibrahim Accord. This is a beautiful...
So some would ask you, I mean, you have the conflict of India and Pakistan. You could have focused on, let's say, bringing peace between the two countries. Why coming to Israel and dealing with such a far distance conflict?
Well, I think the Pakistan-India conflict is a natural conflict. Since the Pakistan has been created from the India. So that conflict, there's so many organizations in Pakistan, they are working to peace between India and Pakistan. And remember that I need to tell the audience, India and Pakistan, there were 3-4 wars. And still they have a diplomatic ties, economic ties, relations, and the people-to-people relations. But Israel never posed any single threat to the Pakistan. Neither is a nuclear threat or any threat. And we still have no war, nothing happens, and we still have a kind of ideologically enmity inside that Israel is against Islam, Israel is against Pakistan, Israel is against Muslim, which is completely wrong. Israel always wanted a good ties with Pakistan since Pakistan was established.
Yeah, we know that. I have to ask you, you're not getting any threats from people in the Arab world? Because you're saying things that a lot of people can annoy a lot of people.
Well, now, this visit from Arab countries, no. But pro-Palestinians, yes. Because when I posted on Facebook that I'm going to Al-Aqsa and praying over there, and some people, pro-Palestinians, they were taking a very high activist of Palestine, and they say, keep an eye on this person, no diary. He's visiting Al-Aqsa, and make sure he cannot or should not enter into Al-Aqsa. And this was completely shock to me. That Aqsa is a holy place for everyone. How they are banning, how they are taking the people and promoting my entrance, promoting against my entrance into the Al-Aqsa. This is completely shocked me.
Why in your opinion we're not aware, not seeing many people who are saying what you're saying, which is so obvious to our eyes that people should promote peace. Yet again, there are such a few people who can speak freely like you do.
Thing is this, I'm as a Muslim religious person, I see the Israel is an angle of the Islam, angle of the religion, right? Islam never goes against Judaism, against the Jews or against Israel. Even the Quran has said the land is dedicated to the Jewish people, to the Bani Israel, the people of Israel, not Muslims. So when the extremists and fanatics, pro-Palestinians or the Hamas people, they use this political arena into the disguise, into the religion, and indoctrinate people through the religious texts. So it is my duty to counter their Islamist narratives through the Islamic theology, to tell the people, no, the Islam which they are indoctrinating, they are showing, this is actually a political Islam, not Islam. Islam always promoted Israel's right to exist in the Holy Land. Prophet Muhammad never said that Al-Aqsa is belong to Muslims. He only said Al-Aqsa is the third holiest place for the Muslims. Not first, not second, third. It means he raises the secondness, the holiness of the place to the Muslims. Never claim that this land is Muslims' land. is not mentioned anywhere in the Quran, is not anywhere in the Hadith of Prophet sayings. So this is what the message I'm portraying to the Muslim community, that open your eyes and have a look at Islam. If you look at the deeply Islam, don't be fooled by the Islamist clerics who teach you the political Islam or Islamism, sometime against India, sometime against the West, and most probably against Israel. Right? Israel is a country of our cousins. Israel is the land where all the prophets we believe, Abraham, Joseph, David, Moses, they were from Israel. And
Amazing.
so this is why the prophet said, go over there and see how the Abraham religion was sustained in the land.
Well,
but never own the land. We cannot own the land.
Yes, well, we can go on and on speaking to you because you're fascinating, but I want to thank you so much for this interview and for all the good work that you're doing, promoting peace and promoting coexistence. Thank you so much, Noor Dahari.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.